Alrighty, everybody, welcome in. We have some Hennessy Performance League racing action tonight. We have the Xfinity Series, race 14 of 15 in the season, race 4 of 4 in the playoffs, the cutoff race tonight, as we find out who is going to be the 4 competing for a championship next week. I am joined in the booth tonight by Sharp. Sharp, how you doing tonight, bud?
We're doing pretty good. Appreciate the opportunity to be able to assist with the commentary tonight. I'm looking forward to it. Bristol is always a good track, and I'm sure the action is going to be wild tonight.
Yeah, definitely going to be wild. So far, we have 2 people already locked into the championship race next week, and Kenny LaFleur and Elite Precision. They both got wins earlier on. Elite winning at Iowa, Kenny last week at Watkins Glen. We had a non-playoff driver win the first race at Chicagoland and Big Jim, which means right now there are 2 spots on points, but a winner in the playoffs tonight could reduce that down to 1 spot. And right now, I mean, your guys to watch, the 2 above the cut line points-wise, Killer and McCard. Killer being 15 points above the cut line, McCard being 12 above the cut line. One of them, and without a absolutely terrific just choke job tonight, one of them is going to make it in on points. But the guy right underneath, the guy who a lot of people had as favorites, a favorite to make the championship 4, he missed a race in the playoffs, lost a lot of points, but Noah's Bowl or Cody the Bear, he's changed his gamer tag, but he is 12 points below the cut line, and it almost feels like a must-win tonight. What do you think, Sharp?
I mean, 12 points isn't necessarily a must-win situation, but he's going to treat it as such. He's going to treat it as one that he has to be up front early, and he has to be up front often. So qualifying is going to be critical right here. I mean, looking at the point standings and looking at the drivers who are above the cut line, you know, Kenny, Elite, already advanced. So they have nothing to worry about tonight. You look at Killer, who's solid all around at just about every single given racetrack. McCard, we've seen him excel at the intermediates. He's able to get up front on the plate tracks. You go to the big 2-mile racetracks, and he's solid all around. Bring him to the short tracks, and that is his bread and butter. So McCard, as of right now, 12 points above, is in a good position. But then looking at some of the guys who are a little further down the cutoff line, you know, that a little bit of a surprise here, guys like Dead Dad, Nobes, Masopes, and all those other drivers, you know, a lot could happen, a lot could go wrong for the guys above the cut line. I mean, anybody could win this thing and advance via the win. So those guys all have to treat it like a must-win race tonight if they are to have an opportunity to advance.
Yeah, I definitely agree, and I like I said, I mean, it's like you said, it's not necessarily a must-win for Cody tonight, but making up 12 points on McCard at Bristol is not going to be easy, or like making 15 up on Killer. It's not going to be an easy thing to do. You're going to have to lead a lap. You're going to have to probably have the fastest lap. You're probably going to have to, you know, qualify on the pole, because those bonus points do add up, and you're going to need those. But 12 points on McCard and 15 on Killer, that it's going to be extremely hard to make up for him. And I talked to him before the race. He even said he feels like tonight's a must-win. So it's going to be interesting to see how aggressive the guys below the cut line actually treat tonight. I mean, with it being a short track, you're already going to see the bumper being used. But how much are these guys willing to use it to get that spot in the championship 4?
I mean, it's a win and you're in at this point. I mean, you got 2 races left, and this is the last opportunity to get there. So, you know, you do want to treat your fellow drivers with respect, but there's a little bit more on the line right here in order to be able to make it to the championship 4. So, you know, passing is going to be at a premium here. You're going to see a lot of drivers, you know, they're going to rotate between the bottom lane, the high line, right up against the wall. It just depends on how your car is driving. You're going to see a lot of drivers try to trend toward a little bit of a looser setup here. The Xfinity cars drive a little bit tighter, so they're going to be making adjustments throughout the race to try to find that fine line of loose and balanced in order to make some speed. But they have to watch out for that on the long run. So, you know, bumpers can be given throughout the race there. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how these guys treat this track, you know, with an entire field and not a whole lot of room to run. So early on, it may be a patient game to kind of get a feel for how everyone's running, kind of see where your car balances compared to the others, and then maybe stage 2 on is when you're going to start seeing the aggression rise, and definitely stage 3 is where, I mean, it's the last opportunity there. You better get it while you can.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting, and in my opinion, truthfully, the Xfinity Series has been, I don't want to necessarily call it entertaining, but the most action-filled series we've had in Hennessy this season, where, I mean, there has been a lot of tempers, a lot of bumpers. It doesn't matter what the track is. So, I mean, you bring these guys to a short track with everything on the line tonight. I'm extremely excited and almost a little bit nervous to see what might actually happen tonight between these guys. But they should be wrapping up qualifying here soon. I am trying to pull a stream up so I can get you all a running order. But give me 1 second. Sharp, you've raced in the Xfinity Series so far this year. You got yourself a win at the Charlotte Roval. Why don't you talk to the fans about how the car drives here at Bristol, and if it's easy or hard to make passes?
Well, for everybody tuning in, Bristol, it varies per series. Cup tends to drive a little bit on the looser side. Xfinity is kind of somewhere in the middle, but loose on the long run. And then Trucks is extremely tight throughout the entire run. Very, very, very end of the run, it'll drive a little bit loose off depending on what sort of line you're running. Both ends of the track, you got to be careful on which line you choose. If you're somewhere in the middle of the lane and you want to hover down toward the apron on the exit, you've got to time that little arc that you make just right, because if you're a little bit higher than the very bottom of the track on exit, a lot of times there's a little sweet spot where like the rubber lays down at the way the game depicts it. You can get very, very loose right there, and if you overcorrect, you're either an outside wall, or if you're not able to correct it, a lot of times you'll go spinning toward the inside wall. Drivers that run that high side throughout the entire of the corner have a little bit more comfort zone up there, but you got to be careful not to get in that safer barrier on the outside. So it's all finding that fine line on both ends of the track, not over accelerating and burning the corner entry, not being too shallow on entry, being a little bit too slow, because then you're pedaling the throttle, trying to stay away from the apron if you're too low on the track. So it's finding that fine line of braking, acceleration, getting back to the gas, to be able to carry a good lap time around here. So the drivers who are going to have the best handling cars tonight are going to be the ones who are going to be able to stay up front all night long, stay on top of the changes that they're going to have to make throughout the entirety of the race. And, talking to guys like, JoJo, who's, not part of the playoff picture, but has been strong throughout the entirety of the season in every series that he's competed in, Elite Precision, among others, they're very confident in their ability that they're going to get the job done tonight. So the drivers, following behind them, McCarr, Killer, above the cut line, they want to have a solid run. Stage points are going to be at a premium tonight here. Drivers below the cut line, I believe, are going to be willing to take a couple more extra chances tonight. So a lot of action tonight. So going to depend on what line you want to run and how you can make it work around this track.
Yeah, well, the two guys we talked a lot about so far tonight, McCard and Killer. McCard is going to be your pole sitter tonight, so that's going to help him a lot in the point situation, because he's going to get some bonus points for that. And then Killer starting P4. I'm not able to see who is starting P2 just because I can only see the top 10 finishing order on Nobes' stream. But, I mean, McCard starting on the pole, he's putting himself in a really good situation starting out. Because realistically, as long as if he outpoints Killer, it doesn't matter if he gets a new winner. I mean, he's fine. A new winner doesn't hurt McCard in this fashion as long as he just outpoints Killer, which off the rip, he's going to be outpointing him. He will be 1 point above him. So I think that's going to be an interesting battle to watch throughout the race too, because if you're McCard, you can't play it too safe. You can't just be content outpointing Cody and hoping that like nobody else wins, because I mean if that's your strategy going into it and somebody else does win like Masopes or Captain Dead Dad and you don't outpoint Killer, you're out of the playoffs. So I think the battle we haven't really talked about is going to be between McCard and Killer. It's going to be interesting to see how these two race around each other, and it looks like they're going to start near each other once this race gets going.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, they're both above the cut line, so they have a little bit of a cushion. It looks like they may be loading in. Maybe I'm mistaken.
Nope, but we can join now.
Killer above the cut line, McCard on the pole, starting on the inside. It's going to be interesting to see how he gets that bottom lane rolling right off of the rip. Fresh tires, you might be able to make it work right off of the jump, but as the tires wear, it can be a lot tougher to make passes on the bottom there. So the start of this race for McCard is crucial. If he can get clear, get into a rhythm, settle in. I feel like he can be up front for the entirety of this race. Maybe not lead every lap, but he'll be toward the front. And then, of course, like you said, Killer starting 4th position is going to be very, very good for his chances to be up toward the front as we're taking the green here.
Yeah, I am still loading in, so if you want to give us a call, you're more than welcome to.
Absolutely. McCard is side by side with Riley here, trying to get the lead, drifting up. Teammates at JRM. Riley is able to get the run on the high side. McCard will settle in a second and be able to settle in line, not to lose any more spots here. So Riley, your early leader here, leading lap 1 of this race.
Yeah, I'm in now. I am seeing Riley take the lead, a veteran in the series. But another thing we're kind of going to talk about is being first isn't necessarily the best thing, in my opinion, when it comes to restarts, because you're going to start on the bottom. And in my experience here, it seems like the high side does seem to prevail off of restarts here. So honestly, if we get a late race restart and somebody's on the high side, that it really might be beneficial to start second, because I think you're going to be able to clear the inside car within the first lap.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's pick your poison kind of deal. The 15 kind of getting shoved up into the wall by the 54. That Speed Racer, who's below the cut line, he's looking to get up toward the front. He's absolutely going to be in a must-win situation here. He's making up some ground. He's picked up a couple spots here in the early going, trying to be aggressive without overdriving the car too much. See JoJo, who started a little bit toward the front, he's having some trouble early on this race. He's falling back about 2 spots, finds himself on the high side, and a lot of traffic back there. And that's a traffic jam back there. Nob's in this mess. He's right behind JoJo in this high line. There's going to be comers and goers throughout this race. As we mentioned, early on in the race, you might not have your setup in. You're going strictly off a preset. Your car might not be handling to your liking. Get those setups in, first caution period, if we see one in the stage or right at stage 2, and you're going to see a completely different race unfolding.
Yeah, and some breaking news that we are hearing. Elite not making the race tonight. He is now disqualified from the Championship 4. So that spices everything up. So right now, going into the race, your current Championship 4 is going to be Kenny, who is locked, Killer, McCard, and now Cody. That is going to be your Championship 4. Elite not making enough races to qualify for the Championship race, so he will be booted out. So that kind of switches everything up at this point, because now we are guaranteed to have 2 people in on points. So if you're McCard and Killer, you're sitting real comfortable. And now the cutoff spot is going to be Cody.
Yeah, that definitely changes things up. So now you're looking at drivers like Captain Dead Dad, 7 points behind Cody. And then you got Nobes, who's 9 points behind Cody. It's not must-win territory. Obviously, they're going to have some luck go their way, get some more stage points than Cody. But yeah, shocking news that Elite unfortunately did not make enough races here. I mean, he in a lot of races this season has been class of the field. He's a very respectable driver on the track from past races that I've had with him. So it's we got a car spinning, almost spinning. A Speed Racer going around.
Oh, Speed goes around. And it looks like he's the only car involved, as that's not going to bring out a caution, but that is not going to help his situation here at all, as he is way behind the field here. And if he got any damage, he might be in danger. Oh, he's up in the wall now trying to get it back going, but the leaders are on the back straightaway. They are coming. He might be in danger of going a lap down here in stage 1.
Yeah, I'm riding along with him right now in the 54 Sports Clips Toyota. From my point of view, he does not have any damage, and from what I was actually a couple cars behind him when he started looping the car around. It appeared like he avoided any contact with the wall, so that is an extremely lucky break for him, and he is the only car that was involved in that spin. So, it's not a complete end of the race for him here. Obviously, yes, he lost a lot of ground, and should things go green and no one else has any incident, he'll be the last car either on the lead lap or first car a lap down. So not all is lost. He's got time. The circumstances have to be right for him, but he can rebound from this.
Yeah, and back up front, McCard and Riley, they have pulled away from the field, but right now it looks like McCard might be a little bit stronger than Riley is. He's going to take a look on the outside. I think Riley's just going to give him the spot here, as McCard's going to take the lead away from Riley. I don't know if Riley's car is just fading away or if that was a team order thing there to get McCarr the lead, get him the extra points. But so far, McCarr and Riley looking like the class of the field tonight.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. And, I mean, based off of the standings, McCarr now is he's not the first one above the cut line now. With the lap led, the pole, that's bonus points on both ends right there. So he started 9. In where drivers are going to be positioned as the stage goes along. So big development there. So McCarr looking extremely strong early on. I mean, it appears he and Riley are in a pretty good rhythm right now, but McCarr definitely maybe a little bit of a better car, or Riley just not feeling, too comfortable without the setup in.
Yeah, and these two are catching. Who is that in front? It does not look like that is.
That's nice.
Yeah, who is that?
That's I'm
Wuchia.
checking on it right now. That's
they
Wuchia.
Are catching Wuchia, another guy in the playoffs who he is in a must-win tonight, but looking like he's having some issues early on here in stage one.
Yeah, he's got some front end damage right here, and that's affecting his entry into the corner, and definitely not the best exit for him either. I'm watching Speed Racer again, and initially I thought he may not have suffered any damage, but the more and more I see, I mean, he's either just really struggling with this car right now, handling wise, wrong preset or something, because it just doesn't seem. He was running mid pack on some decent laps. Now it just seems like he has no feel for the car in the moment. He and Wuchia are really going to hope the stage finishes soon.
Yeah, as I am taking a look at Nobe's stream, it appears we have. Oh, as it freezes right as he's going to the line. That's convenient. Well, give me 1 second. I'll pull this stream up to tell you how many laps we have left here.
Just flashed from. I have it up as well. Let's see.
I believe we should be coming to about 14 laps to go, if I'm not mistaken. I believe with the delay on the stream, we have 14 to go as McCarr just crosses the finish line. As, like I said, him and Riley, just class of the field. It looks like he's going to be tough to beat tonight. Unless somebody is able to have the right adjustments here at the end of stage one during the pit stops. These two look like I said, they're in a class of their own right now.
Oh, it's definitely going to be tough for them. I mean, obviously, it's stage one. It's early. A lot could change right now. I mean, you see Nobes right here battling with Kenny, who's advanced. There's nothing to worry about tonight. Trying to at least get himself a little bit closer to the front with at least a chance. You see Kenny going low. Oh, he was blocking Nobes a little bit. I don't think he meant to pinch him that close to the wall. I mean, Kenny not giving Nobes any room at all. Wow, that's quite an interesting development right there. Nobes is one of the most respected drivers within the entirety of the series here. So a little bit surprising, Kenny would pinch him like that after already being advanced. But just maybe he thought he had him cleared. Interesting development. We'll see if Nobes can catch up to him, what he thinks about that move.
Yeah, and we go back and see that the leaders have gotten around Wuchia here, so he is going to be a lap down. So now if you're Wuchia, you are just praying that Speed is able to hold on. Oh, Wuchia almost goes around again as he is all the way down to the apron. Oh, what a save by him. But he is definitely struggling, and he is just praying that Speed stays on the lead lap here so he can get his lap back at the end of this stage. But we should have about 9 laps to go up front for the leaders. But right now, a little bit of contact between Cody and Masopes as they are battling for 5th place. Cody working his way up the field, trying to run the bottom here. As JoJo getting a little squirrely right behind him. As Big Jim and JoJo are just kind of sitting here as these two go 2 by 2. Is a little bit more. Masopes is going to come down and make contact with Cody. These two are beating and banging. This is a Bristol special right here.
Oh, yeah. I mean, tires are starting to wear out. Handling may be going away for a lot of these drivers. I think Cody's going to get the spot here. Masopes trying to turn down the way the game physics work. You make contact with somebody mid-corner. Ooh, Masopes getting in pretty hot there. I don't know. Tempers are definitely already flaring here in stage 1. Masopes look like he might have a little bit of front bumper damage there, maybe affecting his drive off and his entry just a little bit. But yeah, Cody looking strong, continuing his march toward the front here. So going to be interesting to see if he can continue to get up there. Remember now, he's first car above the cut line, so his stage points are going to be extremely critical for him.
And as you see here, the leaders are kind of closing in on Speed here. If I'm not mistaken, they are coming to 5 laps to go. So Speed's going to try and do his best here to hold them off, but it's going to be tough because these guys are closing in, and they're closing in quick.
Yeah, and if you're Wuchia, you are holding your breath right now. This is a very scary time right here because McCard is really, really good on the long run on these short tracks, especially here at Bristol. This is one of the short tracks he said in the past that he thoroughly enjoys racing at. If we're at 3 to go here, you know, Speed just can't give up that high line. It looks like he gets a decent drive off. It's the fact that McCard is beating him in on entry. They're about even on exits, so this is 2 to go. Speed, unless he makes a catastrophic error, I think he's going to be fine.
And it's also going to be interesting to see how hard Riley pushes here. I mean, he's not necessarily there, but he's not too far back. Is he really going to push the teammate for the stage win here? I think we should have 2 to go right here. So it's going to be interesting to see. They are definitely closing in, but I think as long as Speed doesn't make a mistake, he should be fine. I don't necessarily think McCard's going to get too aggressive trying to lap him either because, I mean, if he gets too aggressive and you push Speed too hard, there is a chance he makes a mistake and takes you both out.
That was a stage right there. So,
so Speed is going to stay on the lead lap here.
Yeah, very good job by Speed. Not the best handling on his race car right now, but you're able to avoid going a lap down and having to start behind anybody else who may take a wave around or some other risky maneuver. So good job by Speed, considering he spun. Stays on the lead lap. He's got 2 more stages to work with to try to make up some of that ground. But McCard and Riley, obviously early. It's early on, but definitely looking like 2 of the strongest drivers in the field at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what happens, like we said, when we make the adjustments here to the cars. A lot of these guys do have good setups, especially for longer runs. But, I mean, it's unless these guys definitely have, I mean, just a complete turnaround. I mean, these 2 really gapped the field and kind of had their way with them. So, as up front, it looks like Killer is going to move up into 2nd place. Riley back to 3rd. McCard's going to keep the lead, and we are green.
Good pit stop by the crew of the 44. Gets them on the front row at least an opportunity to maybe sail alongside McCard. Oh, McCard, I respect that move. He didn't cut him off right then and there.
As Killer is driving that thing as hard as he can to stay even with him here. He does not want to give up the lead here. Riley looking to the bottom here for P2. But it looks like McCard is going to be able to clear there. Killer might have gotten to the wall a little bit on exit. But now Killer is fighting with Riley to try and keep P2 a little bit back. Oh, Killer into the wall there. That's not going to help his situation at all. As Riley seems to be in a bad situation right now. He seems to be stuck on the bottom, and the high line is kind of just slowly but surely making its way around him as he's dropping back. Cody's trying to pass him now for 4th place here. As Cody is going to really drive it in there. He should be able to clear. Now Masopes alongside Riley as he is just falling back. Oh, we got a car way down to the bottom. It looks like it's Freedom. He's able to save it, but he is going to lose a ton of ground. Oh, they are beating and banging back there. Wuchia Speed and somebody else 3 wide right there.
Yeah, Speed went in the middle. Oh, hit the wall just a little bit.
Cody into the wall there.
Speed made an extremely aggressive move in the middle there. Not a whole lot of real estate here at Bristol. We mentioned this pre-race that it's going to be a fine line of navigating this track, and he saw an opportunity to try to get by him there, 2 for 1 in one corner entry, and contact made on both ends. This is Bristol, though. You're going to see this throughout the entirety of the race. You just have to be careful, avoid ruffling the feathers of a driver that is not going to take too kindly to that, or he won't forget it later on in the race. So Speed trying to make the ground up, but he's got a long road ahead of him right now.
Yeah, and towards the back, you see Riley still just stuck on the bottom, just not able to really do anything. As, a little bit of contact between him and Cody, as Cody got in the wall earlier, and masopes was actually able to get by him, as we saw those two beating and banging at the end of stage. Oh, Cody's going to send it in, put masopes in the wall. Oh, masopes is not going to be happy about that. Oh, boy, Riley going to slide up in front of Cody. Cody's going to try and cross him over, but masopes is going to peek under. Cody and Riley make contact. They're able to save it. As masopes is going to give Cody the bumper now, as these guys are just beating each other up.
Yeah, masopes, that's the second or third time. There you go. You see?
Oh, puts him all the way up into the wall there as they are 3 wide. They are beating and banging. Oh, my God. Everybody is just hitting each other. Cody into the wall again. Kenny's into him. These guys are not happy with each other.
Oh, Loeb's in the back of Kenny.
Is that speed all the way down to the inside wall? He's going to come back on the track. He's not going to lose too much ground. But these guys are just beating the crap out of each other right now.
Yeah, I mean, the 11 and the 15 right now, definitely not happy with each other over the way that each other is being raced there. You saw Masopes give him the bumper right back after Cody had given him a pretty good shot. And then it looked like Cody, got in hot trying to get back to the bumper at 11, almost caused a chain reaction that could have wiped out the entire second half of that field there in one shot there. So, like you said, a lot of emotions going on right now. You're trying to make up the points, trying to get up front somehow, but it's still stage 2 here. The drivers have to keep this in check right now. Otherwise, they're going to lose the race before they even have an opportunity to race for it in stage 3.
Yeah, and up front, McCart is completely checked out away from the rest of the field. Second, third, and fourth is Jackson, Killer, and Riley, as Riley's made his way back up. He looks like he is faster than those two, just needs to find a way around them. But just very, very interesting stuff as you see JoJo on the outside of Masopes here. And look who's right behind Masopes again. We have Cody. Let's see if there's going to be some more fireworks between these people. Oh, JoJo into the wall, back down into Masopes. A little bit of contact as Big Jim's kind of just hanging out behind him, watching all the action. But, contact between Riley and Killer up front. As Cody's going to try and peek to the outside of Masopes here, as this should get interesting. Masopes into the wall. As it looks like we might have a caution
on the racetrack.
We do have a caution. Not sure what happened or where, but we have a caution.
We have Hale State in the back with some heavy damage. So is Captain Dead Dad. MGR Racing 45. He's got some serious damage. Freedom is right in front of these guys. Looks like he might have a little bit of damage to the left front fender. So these 4 may have been involved in some kind of incident back here. But the guys get to take a deep breath, kind of attempt a reset here. Obviously, they're still not extremely happy about some of the racing over here. But, they got to hit a mental reset right here. There's still a lot of racing left to go here, and a lot could happen. A lot could change up here. So take some tires, mental adjustment, and see if you can get on after it. As you see, the 98 of Jackson is up to second place on the front row. Let's see if he can challenge McCard for this race lead.
Yeah, as we get back green, McCard on the inside. Jackson, he's going to be the one. Oh, he's going to really send it in here. Let's see if he gets any runoff. He is able to stay with them. McCard's going to try and clear him here. He's going to really dive it in, but Jackson's going to drive it in hard too. But McCard is going to be able to clear off of 4 here, and he is probably going to set sail as Riley tries to dive it in up under Jackson, but he is not able to, as it looks like McCard's just going to drive off by himself again. Going to be really interesting. I'm going to kind of go back in the middle of the pack here. Riley is going to try and drive it up high. Killer and Masopes are side by side, as this is a big race for Masopes too. He's going to most likely going to need a win here, as he's going to try and clear Killer off of 4. He's going to be able to. Masopes up to P4. Killer kind of falling back. Not what he needs here. JoJo's going to peek underneath the 44 as well. I don't know if Killer has a little bit of damage or something. Maybe something happened. He got into the back of somebody, but his car doesn't seem to be handling the way he wants us. He's into the wall. JoJo and him making contact now. Oh, Killer up into the wall and back down into JoJo as he's going to lose more spots. Kenny's around. Big wreck. Kenny is around. Lucia's around. Oh, heavy contact as we're going to have another caution. Kind of just looked like a chain reaction. Killer got into the wall and came down, hit JoJo. JoJo came down, hit Cody. Oh, that's going to be really unfortunate.
Not a lot of room given. This is a track where there's not a whole lot of give and a whole lot of taking. Right there, you saw it perfectly. Guys are trying to get everything they can when they're on fresh tires. One driver hits the wall, and oftentimes that's all she wrote. And Kenny was a little bit too far down the track where the block meets the apron, and unfortunately, that's where you tend to get loose, regardless of whether you're in the trucks, Xfinity, or Cup. It'll bite you in a hurry, and unfortunately, that's what happened to Kenny. And once he went spinning, the field was just along for the ride at that point.
Yeah, and we should have about 10 laps to go, so this is going to be interesting to see what happens, as it looks like Nobes has either stayed out or took 2 tires. I believe he has stayed out, as Nobes is going to be your leader. McCart on the outside. Masopes up to P3. Nobes is going to pull down. He got his lap led, and I think he's just going to pull down and run the rest of the stage in the back, but McCard's able to clear. But now Masopes up to P2. Does Masopes have anything for McCard? Is he going to be able to make anything happen? As we have cars in the wall in the back, as they are just beating on each other.
Yeah.
As Riley's gonna, oh, go ahead.
No, that's fine. Interesting call by Nobes. I mean, yeah, lead a lap, but I mean, even if he didn't pit, I mean, it's not like they had run a whole lot of green flag laps. I understand, you don't want to get away in the field, and I respect the call that Nobes made, because he's not the kind of driver that's going to be a roadblock to everybody else, but I figured, he would at least maybe try to stay up closer to the top 5, if not maybe top 8, got some stage points, but yeah, I mean, just immediately pulled out away without even trying to battle for it. So gave the lead right back to McCard. Masopes up here in second, Riley third, and I mean, look at this.
JoJo up to third now. Jojo's
able to
clear.
Got whatever adjustments the 22 has made. It looks like that car's come to life here, middle to end of stage 2, and he is rolling toward the front here. So that was a driver I mentioned pre-race. JoJo is extremely talented at pretty much every single track that he goes to, especially a lot of these short tracks here. So bided his time, got his setup in. He's made changes as the run is going along, and I do believe he's starting to figure this track out as the run is going along.
Oh, as contact between Cody and Freedom. Cody just completely drives him up the track into the wall there. Don't know if there had been previous contact or what, but it did not seem like he was happy with him, as Freedom is going to lose quite a few spots after that. But back up front, as we shouldn't have many laps to go. McCard's still leading, but Masopes is McCard's definitely pulling a little bit, but Masopes is able to kind of hang with him a little bit. But JoJo down to the bottom. He's looking for P2 now. As with that battle. Oh, Masopes gets loose. Goes all the way across the track. Doesn't collect anybody. But now we're 3 wide. Jackson up into the wall. Oh, man. What a, I guess a save. But great luck for the rest of the guys.
An unbelievable save. Yeah, it's unfortunate that some drivers kind of got caught up in that. Riley put in the wall. But if Masopes does not save that right there, almost the entire field is getting collected behind him. So Riley's getting beat up a little bit. And now Cody had his opportunity to put him in the wall. Riley trying to stay there with him. Oh,
it looks like that is the stage end. Oh, yep. They're wrecking. I'm hoping that's stage end. If not, people are going to have a lot of damage. But, I mean, so far, class of the field, McCard, it hasn't even been close. I'm pretty sure after he's gotten the lead back from Riley off the opening start of the race, he hasn't relinquished it at all. And, I mean, Masopes kind of gave him a run for his money. And these guys are just beating and banging on each other. Masopes, I'm not sure where he finished in the stage. These guys are just not happy with each other. You can see it in the they're not happy with each other in the Discord right now. But the start of stage 3, we have JoJo leading. McCard on the high side. What is going to happen here? McCard with a really good run on the high side. Cody is now up into third. That's going to make things interesting too. JoJo, a little bit of contact between him and McCard. Now Cody peeking to the outside of JoJo. McCard should be able to clear here on exit. Now Cody's going to try and follow. Cody and JoJo side by side. If these two fight for too long, McCard's going to just check out, and he's going to be in his different area code. So these two got to figure it out quick. It looks like Cody on the high side might be a little bit quicker. He should be able to clear here off of 4 unless there's contact. Cody's able to clear. Now Jackson up alongside of JoJo.
Yeah, the guys in the high line, they got a driver trapped on the bottom. You can't use the entirety of that racetrack to be able to drive. And as soon as I say that, JoJo finally able to find a spot in line. I think give him a little bit of a break there. I mean, JoJo's usually pretty composed on the track. Doesn't make a whole lot of contact with anybody on the track there. So a good break for the driver to 22. He's been working his way up front all night long. Had a chance there to potentially take the lead on the restart, but, I mean, you can see just how strong McCard's car is. And with him in the lead, it's going to be tough to get by this 9 car tonight.
Yeah, I think unless there's a caution and just a late race move, I don't think anybody has anything for the 9 tonight. And he's setting himself up in really good position. Cody now up to second. He's helping himself out points-wise. It's going to be interesting. I think Masopes is fast enough to work his way back up the field, but guys like Speed trying to make it 3 wide on him, they're not helping his situation at all as he's able to clear Kenny. But an interesting move there by Speed. I mean, I know it's stage 3. I know you're pretty much in a must-win, but going 3 wide there, I don't know if that's your best move necessarily.
No, not at all. And I mean, depending on the fuel situation, tires, and whatnot, I mean, this is going to be interesting what these guys decide to do as the run goes along. Right now, Masopes is
Riley and the Speed Wuchia, they're going 3 wide. We are going to have a pit stop, but these guys are just beating each other up.
Yeah, they're 10 laps shy on fuel, according to No Stream. Now, we'll have to see how quickly the tires burn off. Do the guys take a chance and, go no tires? Do they take 2 tires? Can they make it without having to take tires? They definitely need fuel. That's without a doubt going to have to happen. Beyond that, it's so iffy right now. Looking up front, I mean, like you said, McCard has just absolutely checked out. Cody, I think, he's kind of holding up this line right here. The guys running 3rd, 4th, and 5th. You see Jim has come on strong here in this final run. He's at the 3rd spot. He's looking to play spoiler to these guys up front.
Yeah, I mean, Jim's already played spoiler once in this playoffs by winning at Chicagoland, and he seems to have a pretty strong car here in Stage 3. I think like you said, I think Cody is kind of holding these guys up, but I think that's kind of what he has to do. I mean, in his situation, if McCard wins, it doesn't hurt him at all. With Elite being out, he's fine with McCard winning. As long as it's not a brand new winner below the cut line, below him in the points, he should be fine. So he's trying to get as many points as he can here. It looks like Jim's going to peek underneath. These two are battling. Let me try and get to them really quick.
Yeah, Jim able to take the 2nd position here, so good move out of Jim. Used the bottom line pretty well. Jim tends to drive a pretty loose race car here with his wheel settings that he has. He's able to take advantage of that compared to a lot of drivers who might not be able to handle a car driving loose off of the corner here. Now, it's going to be tough for Jim to make this ground up on McCard because McCard has been so strong all night long. But Jim has proven in the past that he's extremely strong at Bristol here. He enjoys running the short tracks. That's been his bread and butter over the course of his e-gaming career. And the fact that he's managed to get away from the mid-pack, run up to the runner-up spot, and it does appear he's closing ground, not much, but a little bit on McCard. Maybe McCard just taking it easy, knowing he's up front. No mistakes need to be made. Jim has nothing to lose. He's not a part of the playoff picture right now, and he is just looking to go for another race win. So he can run all out and see if he can track down that 9 car.
Yeah, as Masopes up into the wall, down into Dead Dad, as we're going to have a caution. Dead Dad spins, Masope spins, and it looks like the one of Freedom was collected as well. As if we don't have an end game, I believe we will have a manual.
Okay, Masopes appeared to be ghosted right there. Speed Racer's on pit road. He's got some major damage.
As I guess we are not going to have a manual. It looks like 3 cars were involved, but we're going to stay green as that might be all she wrote.
Oh, Masopes getting put into the wall again. Just a rough start to stage 3 for the driver of the 11 car. I mean, not the sort of night Masopes was envisioning right here. Just, battling all night long, trying to get up front, trying to put himself in a spot where he can maybe get to McCard, but just right now is not in the cards for him at the moment. It's just an unfortunate way that the stage has unfolded for him. And mostly not a fault of his own there. I mean, it's hard racing, gets shoved up into the outside wall, and then unfortunately gets spinning across the track here.
Yeah, and it looks like he has a lot of damage, as he is definitely slower than the rest of the field. But back up front, looking at Big Jim, he has reeled in McCard quite a bit, as he's not quite there yet, but he is coming. So we might actually have a little bit of a battle for the lead here in the next couple laps.
Yeah, like we mentioned,
we might have a caution.
Oh, caution is out. Caution is out.
Oh, boy, that's really going to make things interesting.
Oh, Jackson spun.
Jackson.
This is a manual caution. Appears to be a manual caution. Jackson did not get any damage, I believe. Very, very fortunate break for the driver in the 98 car. I don't know if he got tapped. Somebody sent him spinning, but doesn't appear to have any damage. And pit stops right here, this is going to be interesting to see, because now under a manual caution, whoever's the leader is going to have lane choice right here.
Yeah, definitely. But, I mean, if you're McCard, I mean, I said I'd want the high side, but watching Jim get around Cody on the bottom, Jim's looking really strong on the bottom, too. So this restart is going to be interesting, because I think overall, I think Jim right now might have the best car. So if McCard's able to get out front, it's going to be a matter of, can Jim get by him? But I think if Jim gets clean air, he might be in a league of his own here.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I mean, you noticed how they were about 15, 20 laps in the run. That's something in the past that Jim, he's very good on the long run on these short tracks. A lot of times the car will drive tight for him, but it naturally loosens up as the run goes along. That's when he's driving at his best here. So if he gets the lead on this restart somehow, and then the car settles in as the run goes along and it goes green the rest of the way, if McCard hangs around the front of the field, I don't think he's going to be, too upset about that. Obviously, he wants to win to automatically ensure he's through. But, I mean, a pole, he's led a lap, he's got 2 stage wins on the night. So, I mean, he's looking very pretty. And
I have no clue who won.
I believe Big Jim won the race off of pit road.
Yeah, they were side by side, but that's just the view we have. So it looks like Big Jim is going to be your leader. Oh, well, Cody and McCard need to stop driving so close. You don't want to give each other damage here, as I'm not sure what the situation is here, why we're going 3 wide.
I think Masopes was the first car a lap down, and he got the free pass, but because he has so much damage that they are attempting to give him an opportunity to fix the car, before they get lined up. They are lining up right now, I believe.
Oh, gosh, Cody just drilled Big Jim. I'm hoping that was just the game and it didn't actually happen, but if that's the case...
He just hit him again. Look at him. Yeah, no, you could tell. Look at the rear bumper, Jim. You could tell how it's bent in. He just gave him rear damage under yellow. Like, just for any driver, like, there's no need to be power driving on a short track like that. That was not the best move by Cody. And now, not so much for Jim, but Cody has got that front end damage. You can see it on his hood. He might be driving tight here. So this is really going to hurt his cause out. Here goes Jim up through the gears.
A great jump off the line here. He's going to be able to clear. Cody's going to try and go for P2, as Cody should be able to clear McCard. He will. He's going to dive it down. And maybe with a little... Oh, McCard's going to be able to clear JoJo here. So McCard into third. He's in line now. How much time does he waste with Cody here?
He can't afford to burn too much time here. I mean, with the points he's gained in the stage tonight, and as long as Jim continues to lead, he should be fine. but he definitely doesn't want to fall any further back into the field and create some sort of situation for him. He's going to do everything he can to get around this 15 car. He's got to run. Just
it looks like we have a caution.
We're under yellow again. Yellow again.
As not sure what happened. The 93 is kind of far. Oh, it looks like there was contact back by Nobes. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened.
Nodes was in front of this. Nodes was not involved. I know the screen is showing that Masopes has damage from the previous incident, but he's in front of Dead Dad. Also, Speed Racer with heavy damage on his car. Looking to see Wuchia might have been involved. MG Racing 45, tough night for him. Again, involved in an incident. So another opportunity for these drivers to reset. It's going to be about 29 laps to go on the restart. Now McCard is lined up on the outside lane
in row 3
for this restart. Row 3.
As Big Jim leading Killer in second now. Wuchia up to third. Maybe a little bit of a strategy move by him. Let's see if he... Oh, Killer hits Wuchia. Oh, Wuchia's spinning.
Wuchia's around.
Killer came down into Wuchia, put him on the apron. Oh.
A lot of drivers up in the wall. They're 3 wide.
As Big Jim gap in the field, but back behind him. A lot of people beating and banging, jostling for
4
position.
wide. Masopes and Kenny get into it. 92's to the inside.
Oh, another car down into the wall.
Nobes is around. These guys are getting after it. I mean, we said it. The intensity is going to pick up. No more. There's no more give here now. But you're right. Big Jim has, in just 3 short laps, he's already put up about 7 or 8 car lengths between himself and second place. Looking extremely strong in the moment. McCard is on the outside. He's trying to make that very high line work behind the 44 Killer, who's trying to hold off the 98 of Jackson right here. Jackson not giving him a whole lot of room to work with. But Big Jim's loving seeing this.
Could we be seeing SHR dominance in full effect as these two are side by side? McCard's going to give Jackson the bumper, put Killer up into the wall. McCard's going to try and get up underneath. McCard is not happy. He wants to go, and these two just racing side by side is not helping.
Cody in the wall. 3 wide.
3 wide. Contact. McCard's going to really send it in. He's going to try and clear. He does not have any more time to waste. Car. McCard's able to clear. Back behind him, they are 3 wide still. Riley on the bottom. Oh, Jackson into the wall. The 21 up into third place.
Hale State.
Where did he come from?
Out of nowhere. Up to third spot. We haven't mentioned him all night long. He's been involved in a couple incidents in the back. He's been stuck toward the back of the field all night long. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, up to third spot.
As the SHR guys and Jackson and Killer are just falling like rocks right now. They're getting used up quite a bit. As they're not going to be happy. As Riley looking underneath the Hale State here. Riley, remember, he was extremely strong at the beginning of this race. Then he got involved in some incidents and lost track position. He is able to clear as he's up into third, but Big Jim just appears to be gone. I don't necessarily know if there's going to be enough time for these guys to catch him, and I don't know if they're quick enough to catch him. Big Jim definitely had something set for stage 3, and it has worked for him.
I believe Jim is either coming to 16 or 17 to go.
Oh, Killer all the way down the track. He's going to come back up. A little bit of contact.
Oh!
JoJo gets into the back of him. JoJo now down on the apron. He's into the wall. JoJo's around.
He's spinning. JoJo had come on strong as the race was going along there. Another case of on the apron, just not any room being. I mean, these guys are beating and banging constantly throughout these corners. There's no give right now. So
Big Jim is a full straightaway ahead of the rest of the pack. As honestly, most of the action is in the back right now. As we have more 3-wide action with Speed, Kenny. And, Kenny gets a little loose off of exit there. I'm not sure who that is. Sir Sadsack in the 92.
I think the stream might be a lap behind. I think Jim is going to be coming to 14 laps to go right here. Maybe 13.
don't think McCard's going to have enough time to get there. It looks like he might be catching him a little bit, but just not going to be enough time. Really unfortunate for McCard. I mean, the dominant car of the night until stage 3, and right now the way it's looking, he might be a little bit faster than Big Jim, but just kind of got caught up in some stuff, and Big Jim was able to pull away while it was all happening.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, the restart was very critical because you saw McCard was back in row number 3, and with Jim able to restart on that inside line, and with the shifter, you get a little bit of a better jump. And once he got clear and he was able to start hitting his own marks, he set sail. A little bit loose right there for Jim, but as we mentioned, this is how Jim likes driving the car. Now, I don't know if he took 2 tires to keep the track position, because you saw how McCard fell back. He took 4 tires there, fell back a couple spots, and they had some drivers we hadn't really seen restarting toward the front get the second row starting positions. So I believe we're coming to 10 to go. This may be 10 to go right here.
Yeah, and I'm not counting anything out. Contact between Hail State and Freedom. Hail State's not happy. He's going to give Freedom the bumper. It would not shock me to see another caution either, because I mean, we've seen these guys.
Which he has gone around yet again.
As he is now. He might have affected Big Jim's line a little bit there.
He goes a lap down. No harm, no foul to him.
Lucia with just not the night that he wanted to have. Very unfortunate for him. Up front, though, Big Jim just kind of dominating this race. McCard has been able to cut a little bit out of that gap, but not enough. It's not going to be anywhere close to enough unless we get a caution. McCard's P2, Riley P3, Cody in P4. Looks like Freedom in 5th. Hail State back to 6th. Jackson all the way back to 7th after running 2nd earlier in this run. The battle for 8th place between Kenny. And Kenny and Speed, as Speed makes a little bit of contact with the wall. We have cars spinning down to the bottom. As Captain Dead Dad and Masopes, we might have a caution. We do have a caution. Oh boy. That just changed everything.
That indeed changes everything, because every strategy is in the books. I mean, people are making room to run on the track with the aggressive driving that they have, but there's only so much room to have before something happens. Drivers going for a playoff spot. What do? You go 4 tires, 2 tires, stay out, create a log jam, hope you get through. You want to just see the white flag. But we were on 6 to go, so I believe this restart we're going to see 3 laps to go. So even if they make it to the start-finish line, it's not going to automatically be the white flag.
As who's up front? Hail State up front. As it looks like Masopes has retired. But Hail State leading. Captain Dead Dad starting in P4. Speed, he's in P3.
Look at Jim. Oh, my gosh.
Lots of contact. Hail State up in the lead. We got cars spinning. We're going to have another caution. As we have another caution, a huge wreck. Sir Sadsack, Lucia. Who else? Kenny's involved. Oh, man. This is going to just continue to spice things up. As up front, Hail State was able to clear, had himself in a good position, but the guy we got to pay attention to right now, Speed Racer. He's right there. Racer. He's knocking on the door. A win locks him in, and you know he has no issue being aggressive. How aggressive will he be to get the win, to secure his spot in the championship for on this restart? There's no way he pits here. He's got the track position. He knows there's 2 laps to go. What happens? Big Jim's right there. McCard's right there again. So, this is going to be really, really interesting to see what's going to happen on this restart.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Jim on the shifter, if he gets Hail State enough of a shot to get clear to 54, I think Big Jim's going to outmaneuver that 21 here pretty soon. If he can just get the restart he needs, look at the jump he gets.
And he blocked.
He was trying to go 3 wide. He was trying to go 3 wide there without a doubt.
Big Jim all the way to the bottom. He's going to muscle through.
McCart to second.
To the point.
Coming back to the white flag. There's just nothing anybody can do. Everybody's on older tires. This is the white flag right here.
White flag as Big Jim has. Oh my! They are all up in the wall. We're gonna have another wreck. We do.
We're gonna have
it's
a
gonna
wreck to
end
end this
under
race.
caution. Big Jim's gonna win. McCard's gonna finish P2, and I'm not gonna lie, I have no clue who to finish P3 because they were all wrecking.
I do believe Jackson got P3 there. Speed Racer 4th, Cody 5th. What a restart out of that 39 car. He knew he had the better tires. He waited until the 21 slid up the track, darted underneath, 2 in a row for the driver of that 39 car. And some serious thoughts are going to have to be made for the sponsorship to be returned, because this 39 car is on fire the past few weeks here with the way he's been running. He came alive right at the end of stage 3, and he took full advantage of being on fresher tires there at the end. What a race by Big Jim.
Yes, yes, indeed. And do you have Big Jim, McCard? Do you have them added? Yeah, I didn't know if you have them as friends. We can try and get them in the booth and talk to them after that exciting finish tonight. Yes, and if either one of our race winner or our P2 have Jackson added, if you could please add him to the party. I do not have him as a friend. It would help me out a lot. Thank you very much. And as soon as we get Jackson in here, we'll go ahead and get started with the post-race interviews. Well, actually, we can go ahead and get started. McCard, we'll start with you. P2 tonight, and a very great points night for you, as well as you have locked yourself into the championship for undoubtedly. I don't see a way you didn't. What was your game plan going into the race, and then as the race started, seeing that Elite was no longer in and you weren't necessarily in the final advanced spot? What was your game plan going into tonight?
Win. I could tell after the first 3 laps that it was really a top 3 car. I wanted to win. That was the game plan. Then when Elite was bumped out, then it really was to win. So finishing second, I mean, it's nice to be champ for, but it kind of sucks at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like you had the dominant car through stage 1 and 2, and then all of a sudden at the end, Big Jim came out of nowhere and really gave you a challenge. Do you think you needed to make any more adjustments to the car to be able to hang with Big Jim, or do you think it was kind of just one of the situations where, like, when you started in P6 in the 3rd row there, was it just you couldn't get through traffic quick enough to race with him?
I lost the lead on pit road after the manual. That didn't help, because I feel like me, Jim, and Riley we're about even. Whoever's going to be out front, we're going to be out front. And I just followed Jim on that restart. I just followed him and hoped to be close to his bumper. And I got loose out of 4, coming to the white, and that was all she wrote.
Yeah, Sharp, do you have any questions for our second place finisher, McCard?
Yeah, McCard, another great run. We appreciate pre-race just how good of a car you bring to Bristol every single time you race here. You just really seem to have a knack for getting around this racetrack, and I know it's not a victory for you, and you'll be disappointed, right now, but you had a very strong car, 2 stage wins, pole winner, fastest lap. Obviously, you had the car to win, but you are in the championship 4. I'm not sure if it's consolidation for you right now, but knowing you advanced, what's the mindset going into the finale?
Do the same thing I did today, except win the race. That's the mindset.
There you go. And, I mean, obviously, what's the preparation for being able to be in that position next time around?
Just got to get better. Got to have less. Just got to get better, just a smidge better. That was the end of the day. Just got to be a little bit better and get a little bit better luck as well, too. But just got a little bit to go.
That's it. Well, I mean, you have an entire week to prep for, so congratulations on making the championship 4, and best of luck to you in the finale.
Thanks, brother.
All right, let's get to our third place finisher, Jackson Altman. Jackson, you were kind of all over the field tonight. I mean, you were up front for the most part, and then at one point in stage 3, it seemed like everybody just used you and Killer up, and you fell back to, I believe, P7, but were able to work your way back up and get a top 3 finish. What was the race like for you, and how do you react to kind of getting used up?
Yeah, dirty pieces of shit. Just think they can put me in the wall. Hail State in specific, P2, side by side for the lead, and I just get walled for no reason. So, I mean, SHR doesn't take that, so they better watch out at Homestead or Vegas or wherever it is next week.
Yeah, we have heard the slogan quite a bit this season, don't mess with SHR. But, I mean, a great running by you. I mean, like I said, you kind of got moved all throughout the field, but you were able to fight your way back up to P3. That last caution that came out with 6 laps to go, what did you do on pit road? Did you take 4? Did you take 2? What was the game plan?
I stayed out.
Oh, you stayed out.
I figured there would be a lot of cars that stayed out, and I was hoping I could, because it's only 2 laps and it's at Bristol, so it's hard to pass and it's a short track, so I was hoping I could get a win.
Yeah. All right, Sharp, you got any questions for our P3 finisher?
Man, a good rebound for you. I mean, obviously there was a lot of take, not much give throughout the night there. I know it can be frustrating for you, but a good strategy call for you brings you on P3. Not really a question for you, but overall a solid drive for you, Jackson, and a good rebound at the end to be able to at least put yourself in position for the win there. So good job on the P3.
Thank you.
All right, and let's get to our race winner, Big Jim. Big Jim, I mean, the first 2 stages, I thought you had about a top 5 car, but that's about it. What changed? What did you do to the car going into stage 3 that you were able to drive up through the field, and you were able to run McCart down before that caution came out, but then you were able to get by him on pit road? What happened? What adjustments did you make to the car?
Honestly, not much. Stayed with the stock 7. It was really about getting track position there in stage 3. We were stuck back there fighting with the mid pack, and it's really hard to pass at Bristol. You have to throw slide jobs, or sometimes you gotta make a hole where there isn't one, and it's really tough when you're back there. We found ourselves in second there. We had a lot of track in front, and we're run down McCart a little bit. That caution came out, and a little bit of strategy. We took tires, but we did not take any fuel at all. I don't believe, maybe half a tank, but it was just enough to give us the edge over the 9 car.
Yeah, a very impressive running by you. Sharp, do you have any questions for Big Jim?
Well, first off, Jim, congratulations on your 2nd victory in a row, winning at Chicagoland and now here. I mean, we talked about a little bit, pre-race, who we felt was going to be in position as the race went along, and we know you're pretty good at adjusting as the race goes along. Once you got that track position, we know that you're very good here on the long run here at Bristol. So was that something you were hoping for? You felt once you kind of got closer to the front that you'd be in position regardless to be able to get the win?
Yeah, I feel like that's our strength at SHR as a whole, is long run speed. Jackson gives us these nice setups that I don't know where he finds them. Today he kind of just piecemeal one together. He was just throwing numbers down, and it wasn't the best. We keep tweaking on it. It becomes a lot better. But yeah, when it gets to a long run, that really plays into SHR and specifically my wheelhouse. We're able to kind of pick away at leads and pick away at gaps. If it's a short run, it becomes kind of a cluster, and everyone's moving each other. That's not where we excel.
Yeah, well, I mean, you excelled there in stage 3, and then on that restart, you took your time getting through the corner there when the 21 slid up, and you were able to get on by. So a great move at you at the end, and congratulations once again on that victory.
Appreciate you, Sharp. Can I give a couple of shout-outs?
Do your thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to shout out my boys at SHR. Killer, I think he was able to get into the championship 4. He had a little run-in with Chia, and a couple of things didn't go his way there at the end, but he had a pretty good race. He was up there for the most part. And Jackson, thank you for the setup, as always. That was really big for us. And another thing is good luck to the championship 4. I'm kind of gutted for Elite Precision. He should have been there, and something came up, and I hope everything's all right with him. But good luck to the championship 4 and on to Homestead.
All right. Well, we appreciate all of you guys taking the time to join us up in the booth. Congratulations on the strong runs tonight. And best of luck in the season finale.
Thank you, Sharp.
Yep. Yeah. A big congratulations to our top three. McCard, good luck to you going into Homestead next week, making the championship 4. But yeah, that about wraps things up on the Xfinity side. We're headed to Homestead next week, the championship 4. I believe, off of the top of my head, if I am correct, your championship 4 will be Kenny, McCard, Killer, and Cody the Bear, with Elite being kicked out, not making enough races in the playoffs. So those 4, good luck, unless something happened where I just completely got the points wrong. Those should be your championship 4. But make sure to join us tomorrow night, as well as the Cup Series heads to Phoenix as we run our last race before the championship 4 is set. Should be an interesting battle between myself and Ghost and everybody below the cut line. I mean, a win gets them in, but we're the last 2 really battling for points. But another entertaining race by the Xfinity Series. Great race at Bristol. Sharp, thank you for joining me up in the booth, and we will see you all tomorrow.